Copy. Looking for 2.5 plus or minus a quarter of a degree. All right. It's about 1.2, 1.1. Firm, 1.25 degrees wide hack, 25 to 35. That is definitely worth it. All right, next hack will be at 1.5 degrees wide on the center docking target. Nice and smooth. It is actually holding quite close to the center, so I haven't had to make many corrections. Nice and stable so far. We are at manual exposure 1, which is interesting. I don't know what the sun angle is right now, but that seems to be the best view. Yeah, and you see the shadow of the center cross. It's a little low. Right there. Maybe these seat belts weren't a good idea because now I can't see it. All right, next one will be 1.5. Stand by. Hack 1.5 degrees wide at 2650. And then at 2.5 plus or minus a quarter of a degree, it'll be, of course, 4 outs. And I'm jealous I can't float up to the window and see it out in front of us. Coming up on 1.75 degrees wide. Hack 1.75 degrees wide at 2740. All right, it'll be 10-meter arrival next, so once we get to 2.25 degrees wide, we're in the window to start braking. Course and 4 outs. Coming up on 2 degrees wide. Two degrees wide. Back 2820. Center docking target is 2 degrees wide. Copy. I'm going to go ahead and go to course now. And I see we're at about 2.25 degrees wide. I think we're in the window to start braking. Let's start the outs. 1, 2, 3, 4 outs. That did not induce a lot of rotation, so not a lot of cross-controlling there. And waiting for closure to stabilize. I'm showing us at about 2.25. Fine, just to center us up. We're in fine. Going right.
Copy, Reed. You are go to execute forward target handling qualities test.
We're 2.3 degrees wide. We're in the window. Take that fine. Copy. We are within 2 degrees, definitely. I could do 1 or 2 things, but the fly out. Okay, yep, I'm going to center it up, so I'm going to go down and translate down. Just a little bit. I mean, we're talking about a fraction of a degree. Going to 6x. And I'm waiting for that cross to get centered, and then I will pitch up. It's definitely good enough, so I'm going to, right there, stop it. Now I'm going to pitch up, center it. Very nice, very responsive. That was very easy to do, and I show us as a flyout complete. Copy.
Houston, angular alignment complete, ready to begin fine handling quality test.
Copy.
Copy. Affirm. Run fine. 3x zoom coming. On out and fine. Copy. Y-axis ready. I'll start in the center, and we're out and fine. Okay. Copy, a little opening. Back to center laterally. Okay. Yeah, 2.75. Yeah, I see opening. Okay. So we're centered. 1, 2, 3, left pulses. Good motion. There's a half a degree, good motion, a little bit of down or up in on ICPS. And there comes 1, 2, 3 to null, about a tenth of a degree overshoot. We're looking pretty stable right now. We did have some upward motion on ICPS. I'm going to correct that out as well. I'll give one more out and fine. Okay, and 3 right. Here comes 3 right. 1, 2, 3 right. Bringing it back to center. Good motion. Picking up a little bit of upward motion. 2.7 stable on the range. Copy. And going to capture it with left. 1, 2, 3. Here center. Do you feel that? Okay, little rumble. Felt something here just a second ago. Going 2.6 on the range. All right, and we're going to go 3 pulses up. I'll start measuring from the center. 1, 2, 3, up. There's center, and we'll null 1 degree low. Overall, the control is very responsive. Not sure if it's the dead banding half a degree good motion, but I am doing a little bit more lateral correcting to keep it centered. And there's 1, 2 to catch it. About a tenth of a degree overshoot. We got some lateral motion build up in there. Go left to correct that. All right, 3 downs to bring it back to center. 1, 2. Range is good. We had to do some opening half a degree. Good motion. Starting to take out the 1, 2, 3 downs, and we are centered. And so like that, it does seem to move a little bit more, but it's very responsive in the corrections, and so I was able to stop it right on the center. Holding at 2.6, 6x zoom going in. Ready. All right, half inner circle for 60 seconds. Good range. Copy. Minute. Copy. 15 seconds until center on center. All right, going to on and on. A higher gain there, definitely requiring some control, some more frequent control inputs. Stable there now, trying to minimize inputs and see if I can hold that stable. Copy. Okay, time's good.
Houston, translation test complete. Would you like us to go to step 16 or 18?
Perform step 16.
All right, big depth is fine. We're holding at 2.5. Centered. Put down and hold. For 1 degree, good motion, no cross coupling, half a degree. And waiting for 1 full degree of motion. Stop. Wow, stop right on the line. No cross coupling, good motion. There's half a degree. Going back to the center. That's very responsive. Yawing left. Half a degree. And stopping it right on the vertical grid line. We had a little bit of a translation. Back, yawing right. Good motion. Cross coupling, half a degree. Back to the center line, stop. Very, very nice control in the rotations. Go left to confirm motion. Good motion. And copy that, Nana. Thank you. Going back to center. Nana said looking out the window, she was able to perceive the motion of all the alignment tests that we just did.
Houston, we're in step 18, ready for back away.
Concur.
That is course, showing course. 6 outs, starting now. 1, 2, 3, 6. Copy. Got good opening. .2 opening. Losing the docking target, washed out. 5 or 6. All right, picking it back up at 4. Do the cross. 2 is pretty better picture. Backing away, nice and stable. Copy. Copy. That's about 7. All right, coming up on 1.5, going course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in. 1.5.
Back away complete.
Copy.
It looks like we're holding right at 1.5. All right, I'm zoom 1x to watch the thermal turn.
One minute to thermal turn.
Copy. And I'm going to be course. It's 8 pulses down. But I see motion. I see pitch on ICPS.
ICPS thermal turn, start.
All right, here comes down. Course, 1, 2, 3. 8 down pulses. 8 ins. 2, 4, 5. 8. I can see the side docking target. That is a good-looking American flag. Copy. Copy. I'm going to go. We'll leave it course for now.
ICPS thermal turn complete.
Copy that, Amy. We'll start working our way down.
We're down. Docking target is about 1.75 degrees.
And Houston, we're holding at step 20, waiting for your go.
Stand by.
And we're almost to 2 degrees wide.
And I just don't want to lose this in the data, Amy. The separation was way back when we separated from ICPS. It was very aggressive.
Integrity, you are go for approach to side target to 15 meters and to execute handling quality tests.
Our course.
We are picking it up in step 20. I'll copy.
We copy.
Oh, it's almost 2 degrees wide. Their course, almost to 2 degrees wide, and here comes 4 outs. 1, 2, 4. All right, 2 plus or minus a quarter. We are
Houston, 15-meter hold is confirmed.
Copy.
Six X. Depth time. It's a couple outs. A 3 lefts coming in now. 1, 2, 3. Good motion. A lateral, we might have a tad bit of closure and coming right to 2. All right. Okay, about a quarter of a degree. Less than a quarter of a degree up to 3 rights. 2.1 degrees wide. Good motion. Half a degree. All right, here come the lefts to stop it. 1, 2, 3. Three downs. 2, 3. Start measuring from the center. There's center. Good motion.
And Houston, with this sun angle, the white paint on the ICPS is so illuminated.
Half a degree.
It's hard to look out with the naked eye.
1,
Houston copies.
2, 3. Okay, we picked up a little bit of motion to the left on ICPS. Okay, stopping that and correcting it back up. 1, 2, 3 to bring it back to center. Also correcting left. Good motion. Uh, 1, 2. All right. 2.1 degrees wide. Complete.
Step 23, 21, 21.
Copy. 6X. This is it. Okay. I'm in 6X. Ready.
And Houston, can you confirm 6X zoom is good for 21.3?
Checking.
Good range. Good time.
6X zoom is good.
Starting the lateral alignment test.
All right, good range. Just inside 2. Just inside 15 meters. Low gain inputs, not doing a whole lot of commanding. It's holding quite steady. When I'm not doing anything, it's holding nice and steady. The camera and the vehicle are holding steady. It's almost at the center. I will get set up for center on center. Cross over, backing hatch cross. All right, we're starting precision. A higher gain, higher frequency of inputs. It's very responsive. I just have to make inputs because it does seem to pick up lateral motion. Commanding. I'm able to hold the magenta cross within the width of the black cross on the side without, I was talking, it went out, but overall, able to keep it centered, less moderate or less effort. Okay, complete.
Houston, translation and test complete.
Very precise control that you
Copy, and you are go for the multi-axis test, and read you are coming in much lower volume than Victor.
Okay, I will speak up in the cabin mic.
That's better, thanks.
Okay, focus. Set. Copy. I'm going to 3X. Course. Course selected. Left RHC, right on THC. Ready? All right, and I'll get the yaw out to 2 degrees. It's there. Okay, range, it's just side of 2.
Integrity Houston, no action on the caution warning messages.
Gave it some ends.
We copy that, Amy.
All right, lateral motion is held. Okay, 355 for 355. All right, nice and stable, focusing on range. Out, got a little opening, some ends to correct. Got some dynamics there at the beginning, going yawed and translation, yawed and translation, but caught up, was able to correct it out without many problems, moderate or less workload. Now it's very stable, just focusing on range. 50 for 345, and at 345 we go left. $50 for 345. Nice and stable. Range is good. 48 for 3.5, nice and stable, so we're in a good position to go course. We're in and find 7 for 3.5. 6. Yeah, that rate gone down quite a bit. 55, there's picked up course. Yeah, the yaw rate had dropped off a bit. I put it back in. They had 3-4 go discrete. $342. Right, coming up on 3. Right, left to stabilize. All right, we are just outside. Range has opened a bit. Actually, we're looking nice right at 2. Okay, ready. Course. Stand by. It's nice and stable. Gotta get out of course and just go find to try to know a little bit. Oscillating around centered. Okay, I'm ready. Pick that. All right, got a good yaw rate. I'll watch the yaw rate closer this time. Fine. Okay. To me, I did that in before to find. Back to, all right, going out. Go course out. All right, there we go. I see opening. Everybody concur? All right, thank you. I'm going to go back to fine. All right, that yaw rate is slightly dropping off. I'm 348. One more out. That'll be 355 going to 350 for 35. All right, there's pick course. 2.1. Again, a little dynamic at the beginning, but to stabilize all the motion and correct it. Going up on 0. Oh yeah, you can see some of the coating on the fabric on the behind the docking target moving as we. All right, we're stabilized. About 1.75.
Houston, yaw multi-axis test complete.
Copy.
I do. Okay, I think we've stopped the opening.
All right, Houston, we're in instruction 167. TTIG is not yet quite within 29. Waiting your instructions.
Reed, we're ready for you to
Thank
go
you.
to instruction 169. You are go for the multi-axis maneuver biased tail to sun.
Copy that, Houston. We're going to step 23.
Of course. Go. Like 2 degrees per second. All right, giving it in 1.75. 356 for 353. Copy. 355. Said we're going to course. All right, we're in course. Up. I did have to throw another yaw in there to keep it at 0.2. Yeah. Overall, guys, this flies very nicely. Copy. 347 for pulse. Flies very nicely. Very precise. 3x set. It's the 358. Pitch down, going in. 59. 358 set. All right, going back to center. So course, then getting the docking count target back to center. focus on being stable. Yeah, the thruster firings are a lot less aggressive than I thought it would sound or feel, like driving on a gravelly road. The response is quite immediate. Not all the axes are even. Roll is very, very slow, but pitch and yaw are very snappy and responsive. And when you have the zoom set right, you can see very small motions, and so translations are all quite tight and very nicely balanced.
Houston, are you ready for the ATP for depart tail sun?
Affirm.
Auto inertial. Just going for stable. And we're stable.
Step 25.
T-TIG minus 1930, minus 26.
And Reed, please repeat.
Holding on instruction 185, just want to make sure you are ready for NAP 18 and go for departure.
Go for DAP 18 and go for departure.
Copy, Houston. That's in word. Other. 1, 2, 3 outs. Houston, integrity departure initiated.
Copy.
Ready. We're stable. I got to see it before we leave. Oh, wow. Look at that. Wow. Copy. Going off, Fox. Great flying with you, Houston. Nice vehicle.
Great job, Victor, and to the entire crew, and we enjoyed your excitement at seeing ICPS out the window.
And Houston, I am bringing the exposure control down to 1 so that we get some video. Let us know if you want that higher for your bearing test.
Setting of 1 is good for us.
Houston, here comes your 30 outs in X.
Copy. Integrity Houston, no action on the cautions.
Copy. Houston, opening pauses complete.
Copy.
Houston, ICPS is stable in the DocCam field of view. We are going to stay in authority DAP, and we are going to discontinue all manual THC inputs.
Copy, Reed. Please take DocCam exposure to 0, wait 20 seconds, and then take back to 1.
Mike has that in work.
Thanks.
And Houston, here comes the ATP for our pod 2 coast.
We're ready.
Houston, we are going to 12.2.2515 USS 2 burn execution.
We're with you. And Integrity Houston, for awareness, 2 minutes until ICPS maneuvers.
Integrity copies. Houston, we're checking with you in step 4 burn config ATP.
Go to continue, ready for ATP.
Houston, ATP burn config is go.
Copy.
Copy. Looking for 2.5 plus or minus a quarter of a degree. All right. It's about 1.2.
Integrity copies.
The interim cryogenic propulsion stage making an additional maneuver ahead of the USS-2 burn. That USS-2 burn coming from Orion. The ICPS will have its own disposal burn and will burn up upon re-entry over the Pacific Ocean. Again, live here in Mission Control Houston, Artemis Mission Control, to be exact. Just down the hall from the International Space Station Mission Control Room, also flying with humans aboard 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have completed the proximity operations demonstration aboard Orion, and we are now looking ahead to the upper stage separation burn. This provides distance from between Orion and the ICPS. The ICPS will have its own disposal burn at about 5 hours MET. We are now 4 hours and 37 minutes MET, or time since launch. It's been a long day for the crew aboard Orion, and they still have a few tasks to complete before they can go to bed tonight. Of course, we'll have the upper stage separation burn that they will need to monitor. They'll continue doffing and stowing suits.
Houston's here.
Can you confirm what status you want us for suit drying?
Checking. And Integrity, can you confirm that you did the glove swap activity?
Negative, we did not do the glove swap activity.
All right, when able, you can do the glove swap activity, and then we'll need a 15-minute timer, and then we'll be ready to terminate suit drying.
Integrity.
Solar arrays are now in motion ahead of the USS 2 burn, the upper stage separation 2 burn. And with proximity operations complete, we will look forward to hearing from pilot Victor Glover how it felt to fly Orion. But just before his launch, we got to ask him how it felt and how he was looking forward to it.
As a test pilot, the opportunity to fly a spaceship is just a dream. It's unreal. The piloting role specifically, I will have an hour and a half or so where I get to fly the spacecraft by hand, and we fly Orion a lot in the simulator to train, but also to build an experience base for how the teams on the ground think Orion's going to work. And then when we fly Orion in space, we're actually going to compare the two to help them make better models. You know, my inner test pilot is like, of course, very excited about that. But really, the point of this is to make sure that Orion is a safe spacecraft so that we can go and do more complicated missions without having to think about, do we need to have a test pilot on every mission to fly this spacecraft? So far, I really like the way Orion flies, but it's only been in the simulator. And so the ability to fly one actually in space on a test mission is just a really unique opportunity.
Again, those words from pilot Victor Glover before his flight aboard Orion, and reflecting on how it's been to fly Orion in the simulator for those proximity operations demonstrations. Now he has gotten to do the real thing today, with ProxOps having just completed about 10 minutes ago. This view live inside Artemis Mission Control at Johnson Space Center in Houston as the crew continues to move away from the ICPS ahead of that upper stage separation burn. All four solar arrays are now in position ahead of the upper stage separation burn.
Integrity Houston, we are checking on those cautions.
Orion is now maneuvering into the proper attitude ahead of that upper stage separation burn. Orion continuing to maneuver into its proper attitude ahead of the upper stage separation burn. After this burn, the crew has a little more work to do before they can go to sleep. It's been a long day for them, having woken up about 8 hours before launch. The crew aboard Orion will continue stowing their suits and configuring the cabin as they need it for the duration of the flight.
At Integrity Houston, those caution warning messages for prop were seen on manifolds being used for maneuver to burn attitude. Still go for USS-2.
Integrity copy. Still go for USS-2. Thanks for the updates. And the crescent Earth from almost 20,000 miles looks amazing.
Thanks for that report.
Upper stage separation burn for Orion coming up in about 4 minutes. We're now 4 hours and 46 minutes since liftoff. This view coming live from the spacecraft, looking at one of the solar arrays. Those solar arrays are now swept forward, and that protects them from any loads imparted when we conduct this upper stage separation burn. 2 minutes until the upper stage separation burn. This will be the last burn of the evening. The crew will continue stowing their suits. They'll configure the cabin. They will also have their private medical conference. These are scheduled every single day to allow the crew to report how they're feeling down to team members here on Earth. Then they'll get into their pre-sleep and their sleep for the evening. They will only get a few hours of sleep to start. They're going to wake up essentially in the middle of this nap for the perigee raise burn. That burn will set us up for translunar injection tomorrow. A translunar injection burn is what will commit us to flying by the moon and also serves as our deorbit burn. Less than a minute now until the upper stage separation burn.
Integrity Houston, no action on the OMS caution.
Integrity copies.
And we have confirmation of the upper stage segment burn start and complete. Very short burn.
And Integrity Houston, no action on the RCS prop cautions. Let's taking a look.
Okay, copy. And we show about 10 seconds to go on a trim burn, and that is looking good. Attitude is stable.
Copy. Integrity Houston, good USS-2 burn.
Integrity copies, good USS-2.
Confirmation of a successful USS-2 burn, upper stage separation. This view live from Orion. You can see on the right the solar array. You also heard some calls from Capcom Amy Dill to the crew about some cautions that they will see aboard the spacecraft that they're looking into on the reaction control system thrusters, and no action is needed from the crew at this time.
Houston Integrity and procedure 12.2.2515 USS-2 burn execution. Confirm you will complete remaining post-burn reconfig, and we will exit the procedure.
We concur. We'll take it from here.
Copy, thank you.
With proximity operations complete and the upper stage separation burn complete as well, we are now looking to the ICPS, or interim cryogenic propulsion stage disposal burn. We will not see this or get data on it. It will burn up upon reentry over Earth's atmosphere over the Pacific Ocean.
Houston Integrity, I'm going to request to suppress the Sbs 300.
Copy and checking. And read, we will suppress from the ground the CMS 300 caution.
Houston Integrity, very low priority. Let me know when you have 2 minutes for boom mic troubleshooting.
We have the time.
Okay, Amy, as we're learning how to use this mic, I'm talking at a conversational level with the mic about a half a centimeter from my mouth. How do you hear me right now?
Tom, let's tell them it's definitely better, 3 or 4 by 5.
It's a bit better. It's about 3 or 4 by 5.
Okay, Amy, and now I am talking to you with the tip of the boom mic pressed against my upper lip, so I have lip contact on the mic. How's this now?
5 by 5.
Okay, I will let the crew know. Thank you.
We copy. In Integrity Houston on 1, whenever you're ready, we do have some toilet troubleshooting actions for you.
Okay, Houston, we copy on toilet. We have one stowage delta for you. Let me know when you're ready to copy.
We're ready for stowage delta.
Very, very simple. The PWD cover is in Foxtrot 2, not Foxtrot 3.
We copy.
Okay, Amy, just give us about 2 minutes and we'll be ready for the toilet orders.
Standing by.
And we have confirmation that the interim cryogenic propulsion stage burn has started. Again, this is a disposal burn. The ICPS will re-enter Earth's atmosphere and harmlessly burn up over the Pacific Ocean. Additionally, we are expecting the CubeSats to be released soon. These will be released from the Orion stage adapter on the Space Launch System upper stage into a high Earth orbit, where they will conduct an orbital maneuver to reach their own desired orbit. These are 5 CubeSats from space agencies including Germany, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, and Argentina. They have their own distinct objectives completely separate from NASA's mission. And these CubeSats are shoebox-sized payloads that have the potential to expand our knowledge of the space environment. The German Space Agency, or DLR's Tacheles CubeSat, will measure effects of the space environment on electrical components to inform technologies for lunar vehicles. The Korea Aerospace Administration, or CASA's KRAD Cube, will use a dosimeter made of human-like tissue to measure space radiation and biological effects across the Van Allen radiation belts. The Saudi Space Agency's Saudi Geomagnetosphere Satellite, or SHMS CubeSat, will measure space weather at a range of distances from Earth. And Argentina's Comisión Nacional de Actividades Espaciales, or CONE, has a CubeSat called Etna, which will assess radiation shielding methods, measuring Earth's radiation spectrum, collecting GPS data, and validating a long-range communications link. By working with other countries to fly these,
Houston's here.
Hey, Amy. Without knowing what's going on later this day, how important is the 4K encoder setup?
Checking.
Integrity Houston on 1 for timeline big picture.
All 4 crew members are here, Jeff.
Fantastic. Hey, it's been a great day, guys, and we're going to try and get you to bed a little bit early today. We do want to do the 4K encoder setup as well as the toilet troubleshooting. I don't think it'll take very long. Ideally, we'd get that done here in the next hour or so, along with the conferences, and then get you guys to bed a little bit early. That's what we're thinking down here.
Jeff, that all sounds great to us. I have a couple pieces of information if you have no further updates.
All right, we're ready to copy.
All right, just how we're going to break up the crew right now to handle this. Victor is the lead for suit drying and suit stowage. And we show that we have had glove swap for about 15 minutes, so we can probably move on there. How copy?
We copy.
Okay, Jeremy is going to be the cabin config supervisor. He is going to get into cabin config, but as his first activity, he is going to get a power chain set up with the Cobalt brick, and then he will work 4K encoder, and I will help him. How copy?
We copy.
Christina is going to work the toilet troubleshooting with you. So when you all are ready, if you are happy with what Ike, with what Victor and Jeremy are doing, I will hand the comm and the toilet lead over to Christina.
Copy. Stand by for data rate change.
This view inside Mission Control Houston, specifically Artemis Mission Control, as the crew was reporting down some of their tasks that they're continuing to work on at the end of this flight day. It's been a very busy day for the crew so far, again waking up about 8 hours before liftoff, which was now 5 hours and 5 minutes ago. After a successful ride to orbit, they saw the perigee raise maneuver, the apogee raise burn, and got into the proximity operations demonstration. They then conducted the upper stage separation burn to depart the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. That's put us into our current configuration. The crew is working inside the cabin to configure it, to configure where they will stow their suits, and we'll eventually get into some pre-sleep and sleep opportunities before the apogee raise burn in the middle of the night. That'll actually be the perigee raise burn in the middle of the night. They will wake up from a brief nap and monitor that perigee raise burn before getting some more sleep and starting their next flight day tomorrow.
Integrity Houston, back with you.
Amy, we have you loud and clear.
Same, and last we copied is that Christina will work toilet troubleshooting.
That's a good read, and I'm ready for those words when you are.
Okay, Christina, first, we do not think empty oxone beads were installed for launch, so we do not suspect a blockage. We think it could be a priming issue. So the first thing we'd like you to do is to verify the toilet air filter barrier is removed. And I have a step number from toilet setup and activation procedure if you need it. Let us know when that's complete, and then we're going to power cycle the toilet from the ground and have further steps for you.
Okay, I copy all. Before we continue, are we go to swap the suit drying? And correction, are we go to terminate the suit drying?
Go for suit drying termination.
Copy. And Amy, for the air filter barrier removal, is that the nominal removal that's in the toilet setup and activation procedure that I ran?
Affirm, it was step 5.
Yes, I did complete that step.
Copy, standby.
Let them know we're repowering, and once that's done, it'll be attempt to use.
Okay, copy. We are going to power cycle the toilet, and then we'll give you a call back to attempt reactivation with removing the urine hose from the cradle and allow it to run for 1 minute. And then we would also like you to have available 250 milliliters of water. We're not ready for that yet. We'll let you know when the power cycle is complete.
Copy.
Crew aboard Orion, specifically Christina Cook, NASA astronaut and mission specialist, continuing to troubleshoot the issues they saw earlier with the toilet. The teams here on the ground are relaying up instructions on how to resolve that situation.
Integrity Houston for cab camera 2.
Go ahead.
Hey, Christina, for your and the crew's awareness, you may see the cab camera 2 light turn on. We are not streaming video. We're just getting a listing of files.
Copy.
And Integrity Houston for Christina and toilet troubleshooting.
Go ahead.
Okay, Christina, we're ready for you to attempt reactivation of toilet by removing the urine hose from the cradle. Please allow it to run for 1 minute, and then if that's joy, you can deactivate toilet and give us a call.
Copy, and understand I'm not putting the water in the funnel this time.
Correct. Not yet. Not for this time.
In work.
Capcom Amy Dill relaying some words to NASA astronaut Christina Cook on how to troubleshoot the toilet issue they experienced earlier. We should hear shortly the resolution of that issue. This view from Mission Control Houston, Artemis Mission Control, now 5 hours and 14 minutes since liftoff of Orion atop the Space Launch System.
Houston, integrity, test complete, good status light, good flow for the entire test.
Okay.
Good news, Christina, and we are discussing next step. Stand by.
NASA astronaut Christina Cook reporting they had a successful test of the toilet.
And Integrity Houston, Christina for toilet troubleshooting next step.
Go.
Okay, we're going to have you reactivate toilet with the removing the urine hose from the cradle. Please allow it to run for 1 minute, then add 250 milliliters of water, and then allow it to run for at least another 30 seconds and report how that went.
In work.
Continuing to execute those tests to make sure the toilet is up and running properly. Also on the timeline for the crew tonight is an AGA reading, or an anomaly gas analyzer checkout. They will test the air inside the cabin. They do this a couple of times a day to make sure that the environment inside the Orion spacecraft is as we expect. Again, this is the first time we've ever flown humans aboard Orion. It is a test flight, and so we're testing every single specification possible in preparation for future missions.
Houston Integrity, good checkout.
Okay, excellent news, Christina, and we are discussing if there's anything further we need.
As you heard, NASA astronaut Christina Cook called down to the ground. She had a second good checkout of the toilet, and teams here are discussing whether they want to pursue any further steps. And at this time, we expect those 4 secondary CubeSat payloads that were on the Space Launch System are expected to have completed their deployment based on their own timers. Now, we don't have direct confirmation of this, but the payload teams will be able to communicate with and track their CubeSats.
Integrity Houston for toilet status.
Go.
Happy to report that toilet is go for use. We do recommend letting the system get up to operating speed before donating fluid, and then let it run a little bit after donation.
We are cheers all around, and we will do that. Regarding the same, we have 1 CCU that will need to be emptied.
We thought you might, so we went ahead and warmed up the heater, so you're good to empty the CCU at your convenience.
We copy all. Thank you.
And correction, we actually want you to hold off for now on the CCU emptying for potential GNC impacts. So we'll let you know when we're ready for that.
Understood.
Further confirmation from the ground teams and crew that the toilet issues have been resolved and that the crew will go to use the toilet as normally planned. I'm NASA's PAO, Leah Cheshire Mustachio, here in Artemis Mission Control, and I'm joined by Dave Dennemiller. He is the Deputy Manager for Orion Guidance, Navigation, and Control. Thanks for joining us tonight.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So tell me about your role, and I believe you just came from the MER, is that right?
Yeah, we just came from the MER. I lead a team of people who developed the guidance, navigation, and control system for Orion. It's kind of a mouthful, but basically, where are we? How do we get to where we want to go? And how do we control the vehicle? We work hand in hand with the people in this room, the flight controllers, and we developed the ProxOps demo and all the other flight ops that we're doing on Artemis 2. And
well, now that we're through the ProxOps demo, I would love to hear about what your team was hoping to learn during that demonstration.
Yeah, it's a very important data collection activity on Artemis 2. There are basically three categories of things we wanted to learn. Controlling the vehicle involves a whole loop of hardware, software, and people. So we start with the docking camera view that you saw on the NASA TV. And that goes to the display unit that the crew looks at. The crew has to interpret that image and decide what to do. And they make commands to the computer and the hand controllers that you saw the crew members deflecting. And those go through our algorithms to determine which jets to fire. And then we have some electronics to pass those commands along. And that causes the vehicle to move, which goes back to the docking camera again. So it's a big loop. And the ProxOps was testing that whole loop to see how it worked. The second category of thing is the docking camera. Cameras in space have historically had problems because the space lighting is very, very tough on cameras. The brights are very bright and the darks are very dark, very high contrast environment. So we've done all the testing we can with the camera on the ground, but there's nothing like testing it in the space environment to see how it will really work. And then the third category of thing is that when we got in close to the ICPS, we're doing very, very, very small maneuvers. They're less than 1/100th of a meter per second velocity change of the vehicle. They're so low that our IMU can't detect them. So we need a target vehicle out in front of us so that we can actually see the motion. So we collected all that data, and now we have some stuff to look at post-flight.
That's fascinating. And I know pilot Victor Glover was really excited to see, and really quickly, we are getting an amazing view right now, I believe, from Orion, and that may be the Earth or the Moon in the very background. It actually looks like a crescent Earth there in the background. This view coming from one of the solar array wing cameras aboard Orion.
Integrity Houston for CCU answer.
Go ahead.
Christina, two options for when you can dump the CCU. One option is today at MET, 6 hours, 35 minutes, which was during a planned dump time for us, or we can find a time for you to empty the CCU tomorrow.
And help me out with that math. How long from now is that dump time for today?
About an hour.
And I think we'd prefer to do the dump today during that time.
Copy, Christina, and we'll come back to you around that time, letting you know when you're go to dump the CCU.
Perfect. Thank you.
Some more communications with the crew aboard Orion, calling down to Capcom Amy Dill. And this view on your screen, that is Earth in the center of your screen from the Orion spacecraft. Again, a camera mounted aboard the spacecraft's solar array wing, looking back at all of us. Now, I want to get back to our interview. Dave, the Deputy Manager of Guidance, Navigation, and Control for Orion, talking about ProcSop's a really dynamic time. And we heard from NASA astronaut Victor Glover the entire time that he was piloting the spacecraft. And I know that's additional information for your team as well. So what will you interpret from the information about the spacecraft that Victor called down?
Yeah, the crew's comments, Victor's in particular, are very important to us. Obviously, when the crew is manually controlling the spacecraft, we're interested in that task being easy for them to accomplish. So Victor was given a lot of feedback while he was flying. It shows his test pilot background, because that's what test pilots do. They mention the good, the bad, and the ugly as they're flying. So that's a very important part of this. We're actually going to get a score from them of how Orion did. It's called handling qualities. It's a time-tested tradition in the aircraft world that we adopted for spaceflight back in the shuttle days. So they will give us, actually give us a score. It's called a handling quality score.
Fascinating. So once you get that score from them, when will you get that? And then what will you do to digest that feedback? What's next for your team?
Yeah, we'll dive into all of this. We'll look at the video and look at the commands that the pilots made, that Victor made, and the way the system responded, and look at the video to make sure the vehicle did what we expected it to do. And we'll look at all of that afterwards. We've gotten Victor's comments live now, but we'll get more post-flight when we interview the crew post-flight.
Well, that's great. And I know that this is not the only time during the mission that the crew is manually flying the vehicle. There's a manual piloting demo coming up in a few days. So is there anything that your team learned today that helps inform how that demo will go, or any preparations?
Yeah, there's actually lots of different kinds of manual piloting tasks. The one that we did today is one of the more complex ones. We did it first because we needed the ICPS to be there, and the ICPS, we had a limited amount of time before it had to perform its disposal burn. So these other tasks don't require an ICPS. We'll be doing some tasks of pointing the vehicle. We'll ask the crew to point at a star to simulate a future operation where we need to point the vehicle at a target at long range while the target's still at long range. So there's just lots. We're going to turn jets off to simulate a degraded control system and see how the control system responds. So we have a lot of other manual control tasks coming up.
Definitely a lot of action still to come for your group.
Yeah, and all this is, we're simulating stuff that we need to, we're not simulating, we're flying stuff that we need to fly on a future flight. So by being able to do it now, if we see any funnies in the data or decide we need to make any corrections, we have time to make those corrections before the Artemis 3 flight. So this is really risk buy down for Artemis 3. That's why we're doing this, is to get some of the system tests behind us before we fly the first dockings for real on Artemis 3.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a test flight. And with that, I would love to know how you feel after a crew has now piloted Orion for the very first time.
Oh, it's always a great feeling to see something that your team developed go fly for real. I've been around for a while. I've seen this many times, but the luster never fades. It's always fun to actually fly and see your stuff in operation.
I can only imagine. I'm so excited for your team. Congratulations. And we can't wait to see everything that is to come in the upcoming days. So thank you again so much for joining us, Dave Dennemiller, Deputy Manager for Orion's Guidance, Navigation, and Control System.
It was fun. We got 9 more days of fun.
Let's do it. This beautiful view coming from Orion on the Artemis 2 mission and a camera on the spacecraft's solar array wing, looking back at all of us here on Earth. Spacecraft now over 27,000 miles away from our home planet. We are now 5 hours and 45 minutes mission elapsed time, or 5 hours and 45 minutes since launch of the Artemis 2 mission. This view looking back on Earth from one of the cameras on the spacecraft's solar array wing. Things will start to get a little quieter from the crew. Of course, we heard quite a lot from them during the PROX operations demonstration when pilot Victor Glover manually flew the spacecraft around the interim cryogenic propulsion stage. With that complete, the crew conducted some troubleshooting for toilet issues they were experiencing earlier, and those have been resolved. They also continued drying and stowing their suits, configuring the cabin for the mission. They will have a private medical conference later today as well to report how they're feeling to teams on the ground. And eventually they'll be able to get into some sleep. Of course, this is not a full night's sleep, as they will have the rest of the mission because they will move into a perigee raise burn. That perigee raise burn timelined for 12 hours and 55 minutes mission elapsed time, so just about 7 hours from now. After that perigee raise burn, they'll get the opportunity to get a few more hours sleep before waking up tomorrow and starting another day.